Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Okay, so today, fast forward, we'll be getting into the main purpose of today's tutorial. So we'll dive into it. So today we'll be talking about caching techniques. Okay, so caching techniques. Okay, so let's get started. So let's get today. Let's start with the purpose of the techniques for caching. Okay, so here it says caching techniques are crucial for optimizing data retrieval and enhancing performance in computer systems. Okay, so by storing frequently accessed data closer to the application, these techniques effectively reduce latency and bandwidth consumptions, ultimately leading to more efficient processes and a better user experience. Okay, so to get the better definition or understanding of these techniques, first of all, we need to know what caching is. Okay, so here we have caching. Okay, to be the process, okay, of storing copies of files or data in a temporary storage area. Okay, so let me cite an example. For example, you are having an assignment. Okay, you are writing an assignment. Let me say a written one. Okay, so and maybe let me say someone called you. You've been called to run an errand. So by so doing, you're supposed to leave the assignment there, right? Because it's agent. Okay, so you're supposed to leave the assignment on wherever you're doing. So let's say you were doing the assignment on a table. Okay, so you are going to leave the assignment on the table, the book, the pen, whatever you're using for the assignment. You're going to leave it on the table to go and run the errand before coming back. So the process by which you leaving the assignments or the books on the table to go and respond to the errand and come back is what we call the caching. So the process of leaving the books on the table to attend to the call, yeah, that's what it means. So it means when you go and come back and you get access to whatever the assignment you left behind quickly, faster. So that's what it meant by caching. So at this instant, you will notice that the table now becomes the cache. Okay, so it is serving as a temporary storage area. Okay, for storing your books, for you to go and come back and continue with the process. So let's get into it again. So the purpose for caching, the main goal of caching is to reduce the time it takes to access the data and minimize resource. Okay, so in the same example, let's say whilst you were going to run the errand and come back, let's say you went and placed the book maybe in your drawer or something, okay, where you pack your books and stuff, okay, and went and ran the errand and come. So when you came back, if you had placed the book on the table, alright, it would be very easy for you to retrieve, I mean to get access to it. But because you went and placed it in the drawer and leaving a book part of book, you're now going to search or going to open the drawer, going to look for the exact book where you placed it. It's a whole lot. Okay? It takes a lot of time. I get it. So if you had left it on your table, it would have saved a lot of time, making the work easier, faster for you to retrieve. So that's what it means here. The main goal of caching is to reduce time. Okay, so you placing it on the table and go and come back for it reduces the time. Okay, okay. So let's get into the types of caches. So caches can exist in various types. So CPU caches, disk caches, web caches, each serving different purposes within their respective systems. Okay, so let's get into the main idea. Okay, so caching techniques. Alright, so caching techniques. Here we have memory caching. Okay, so memory caching. This technique, okay, talks about how uh, 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 sh- uh, uh, so this basically is being, let me say, handled by the RAM, okay, the random access memory, to store frequently accessed data. Okay, so allowing it to be retrieved quickly. So this method facilitates the access of data while reducing the workload on the main main data stores. Okay, so it enhances the performance also. Okay, and it also improves the rate at which you get access to the data. All right, so and let's move on to the disk caching. Sorry, disk caching. So this caches temporarily hold data that has been read from or read to disk. Okay, so this particular technique of caching mainly deal with, let me say, disk. Okay, so it's used to store the data that has been recently been read from or read to a disk. So let me say disk such as the hard disk drive or the solid state drive. Okay, so this particular disk caching, this particular technique for caching deals with that. So let's move on to web caching. So web caches save copies of web pages and resources, improving load times for users. Okay, so the process of storing copies. Okay, so this sorry, the web caches mainly deals with the process of storing copies of website resources. That's basically what it does. Okay, so it stores the copies of website resources such as HTML pages, images, and a whole lot, scripts, audios, yeah, and a whole lot. Okay, so that's this how this technique also works. So this database technique also, so this type of data, sorry, caching technique also stores. It's a technique which stores query query results or specified data subsets in memory. Okay, so it emphasizes on specified or specific data subsets in your memory. Okay, so that's how this technique also works. So let's move on. So in as much as we are talking about the main subject for the tutorial is about um caching techniques, we also need to know about their strategies. Okay, so this I'm just going to mention them. So you have the cache replacement policies, the cache invalidation, prefetching, write through versus write back. Okay, I don't know if I should brief you a bit on each, or I wanted to stick to the main purpose of the video. So let me just, okay. So let's move on then to the benefits of caching. Okay, so the benefits of caching: one, it improves performance. It improves performances. So by storing frequently accessed data closer to the application, caching drastically reduces access times, leading to enhanced system performances. Okay, so it enhances the performance of the computer. Alright, and then it also reduces latency. Okay, caching minimizes the time spent waiting for data retrieval by 7 requests from faster storage. So as you went and placed the books or in the shelves or the corridor, it took a lot of time. So if you had placed it on your cache in the table and went and came back, you will see that the time wait for you to go search it in the wardrobe and stuff is far spent. Okay, time wasting than the one compared to the one placed on the table for easy retrieval. And it also talks about it. Another benefit is scalability. So effective caching strategies allow systems to handle a larger number of requests without significantly increasing resource consumption, improving overall scalability. Okay, so this is quite explainable. Okay, another, lower bandwidth consumption. So caching reduces the amount of data transmitted over the network by 7 cached data, leading to lower cost and improved experience. Okay, so let's move on to challenges in caching. In as much as it's giving you the positive aspect, so in life we all can notice or testify that in life we all have, negative and positives. And okay, everything we do have a positive effect and negative effect. So then let's switch on to the negative effects of, or let me say, the challenges in caching. Okay, so one, you have cache queries. Two, we have cache size limitation. Three, we have overhead costs. And then data volatility, volatility, okay, volatility, okay. So we then move on to the future trends in caching, okay. So I'm just going to rush you through this. So it's when we have AD with AI and machine learning integration, okay. So cache and then future trends can also be included in such areas like this. So edge caching, we have hybrid caching solution, content delivery networks. Uh, yes. Okay. So I think this will bring us to the end of this tutorial. Not to forget about yes the caching techniques. So now we have the first has memory caching, disk caching, web caching, and database caching. Thank you for your time. Have a nice day.